Imagine a time when India was ruled not by mighty kings or royal heirs, but by a man who was once a slave. This is the story of how a former slave named Qutb-ud-din Aibak rose to become the first Sultan of Delhi, marking the beginning of the Slave Dynasty, the very first ruling house of the Delhi Sultanate. But how did a mere slave take control of one of the most powerful empires in India? Let's dive into this incredible history. Our story begins in 1192, when the mighty Rajput king Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori in the Second Battle of Tarain. With this victory, North India came under Ghurid rule. But Ghori didn't want to stay and rule. He wanted his empire to be managed by his most trusted generals. One such general was Qutb-ud-din Aibak, a former Turkish slave who had risen through the ranks because of his military skills and loyalty. Ghori appointed him as the governor of Delhi, entrusting him with the responsibility of maintaining Ghurid rule in India. But then, something unexpected happened. In 1206, while returning from a campaign in Central Asia, Muhammad Ghori was assassinated, some say by Khwarazmi assassins, others by Hindu rebels. With his sudden death, chaos erupted in the Ghurid Empire. Unlike traditional kingdoms where a king's son takes over, the Ghurids had no clear successor. The empire was divided among Ghori's trusted generals. In India, the most powerful of them was Qutb-ud-din Aibak. This was his moment to seize power. After Ghori's death, Qutb-ud-din Aibak declared himself the independent ruler of Delhi, establishing the Slave Dynasty in 1206. This marked the beginning of the Delhi Sultanate, one of the most powerful dynasties in Indian history. But why was it called the Slave Dynasty? Aibak, along with his successors, were originally Turkish slaves who had risen through hard work and military brilliance. In the Islamic world, Mamluk meant owned or slave, and these rulers were known as the Mamluk Sultans. As Sultan, Aibak focused on stabilizing his rule. He strengthened his army, built alliances, and promoted Islamic culture in India. His most famous achievement, the Qutb Minar, which still stands today as a symbol of his reign. But Aibak's rule was short-lived. In 1210, just 4 years after becoming Sultan, he died in a tragic accident while playing polo. His sudden death led to a power struggle, but eventually his trusted general, Iltutmish, took over and further strengthened the dynasty. The Slave Dynasty ruled Delhi until 1290, laying the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate. Their rule introduced new administrative systems, architecture, and military tactics in India. What started as the rule of a former slave turned into one of the most powerful empires in Indian history. The Delhi Sultanate would go on to rule for over 300 years, paving the way for dynasties like the Khiljis, Tughlaqs, and Mughals. The story of Qutb-ud-din Aibak is proof that history is full of surprises. From a slave to a sultan, his journey changed India forever. What do you think? If Aibak had lived longer, would the slave dynasty have lasted longer too? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic history lessons. Until next time, keep exploring the past.